Happy Wednesday, Fit In Lady Light family. It is your girl, Marquessa Keith. I am back. I am back for episode 12 of Fit In Lady Like a Boss series. Tonight, we're going to be talking about cultivating healthy leadership habits. As you know, I am the owner of Atkins and Keith Consultants LLC and Fit In Lady Light trademark. And tonight, I have here with me some of my co-founders from the Equip to Lead Summit, Marteka and Safiya. So we're going to let the both of them give us a quick introduction of who they are, and then we're going to get this conversation started. So Marteka, if you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Marteka Landrum of Positive Changes 11 LLC, and I'm a coach for difficult teens, and I help get them clear on who they are and how their actions are affecting others so that they can have better relationships and everyone can have peace again.
Absolutely. Safiya.
Hi everyone. I am Safiya and I am a leadership strategist. Essentially, I help executives exceed their career goals and still have a life. And so I absolutely love to work in the leadership space and to just challenge the paradigm of how leadership is practiced. And it's a pleasure to be with you today.
Yeah, and Safiya, tell the audience where you're from. Where are you coming live from?
Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean.
All the way from Trinidad. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so when we say global and we say
Yep.
worldwide, that's exactly what we mean. So we're going to go ahead and kick this off for tonight. So cultivating healthy leadership habits. You all know in the group, I'm always talking about health and wellness is a lifestyle, right? That's a part of your leadership, your being, everything we do, personal and professional. And I know everyone know that, and I will continue to reiterate and implement it in every which way that I can. And we're definitely going to talk to you tonight on leadership. We're going to talk to you about some of the ways of how to cultivate that, what we will be bringing to the Equip to Lead virtual summit, our first annual summit. I know you all have seen me post about it in the group, but you'll hear a little bit more about that tonight as well. But first off, let's just start, and I'll go through with Marteka and then Safiya to be the same question for you. So as leaders in the workspace, you know, we all are leading in some form or facet, whether it's in corporate America or we're doing it from a business standpoint in our own businesses. We're all leading, right? So what are some of the biggest challenges you faced or witnessed in some of those environments? Marteka?
Two of my biggest challenges had been boundaries and how I allow people to treat me. And so when I thought about, I realized I didn't have good boundaries, healthy boundaries in my own life. So therefore, it kind of spilled over into the workplace. And so I didn't have good boundaries there. And because I really wasn't sure of who I was, then people kind of picked up on that and they tried to treat me anyway. But once I got my boundaries straight and I know who I am, I don't have those challenges anymore.
Absolutely. And the same thing for you, Safiya. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced or witnessed in your environments?
I think out of my personal experience was corporate bullying. You know, there are some personalities that are just toxic and belligerent. And the same way you have school compound bullies, you have the corporate bullies who just push people over to get what they want without regard for the particular person, their profession, and who they are. And I experienced that being bullied, and my personality is not one that takes the bullying too well. So I pushed all the way back. But in the end, I really had to evaluate what was happening, and I recognized there was a normalization of toxicity in leadership and in the workplace. And somehow, when we go into a workplace, we expect it. We expect bosses to be, very aggressive and overly stern. And what we try to say is assertive, but really it's toxic. And I think unraveling that is so important. So I think meeting a toxic workplace and corporate bullying in a big way.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that you mentioned the word assertiveness and that coming off and being portrayed and easily mistaken for toxic, or you're being too forceful, you're being too demanding. sometimes assertiveness is just really making your point known, not in and using the right tone, of course. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with being assertive. It's actually quite healthy to be
Correct.
assertive in a way so people know what you mean. You
Yeah.
mean what you say. They're willing to follow clear, concise guidance of whatever
Mhm.
you're putting out. So there's nothing wrong with being assertive. And I too have faced that as one of my challenges in a lot of environments that I've been in is when I put on that assertiveness and put that posture on where it's firm and fair and I have to, get things done and get things moving because I am a doer. You have different age groups of people that think, because you're younger, you haven't lived as long, you don't have as much experience. So why
Mhm.
should I listen to you? That has been a challenge as well. So that's where that assertiveness comes into play because we're put in different positions to lead and to give guidance and to give direction for a specific purpose of that organization or that business. And so I'm so glad that you made reference to that because that can dismantle toxic environments. That's why it's important to really cultivate these healthy habits. Some people don't know how to spiral out of that, right? They don't have the right words or communication skills to be able to express how they're feeling or to change a conversation, or as I like to call it, they can shy away from having a crucial conversation because they don't want to be offensive. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad you brought that up.
Yeah. I mean, Matika made a point that I want to connect to yours.
Yes,
Matika talked about boundaries. And I think when people do not have appropriate boundaries, they misread everything.
yes,
So, for example, just being candid can come off as being aggressive, but I was just being candid. And so, when those boundaries are not properly set in a healthy way, which a healthy balance, things are always misread, misconstrued, and then you have a lot of difficulties in the workplace.
yeah. And I think a healthier way too to go take it a step further with the candidness is sometimes it's finding the right time and place to make it a candid conversation because some people can view it as embarrassment. Why did you embarrass me? Why did you say that in front of
Correct.
so and so and so and so?
Correct. Correct.
Oh, so we'll keep it going. So the next question I have for you all is, what key lessons have you learned in your personal or your professional life? What are some of the key lessons? I know you all, Lee, you do a lot. So what are some of the key lessons that you all have learned in your personal and professional life? Martika, we'll start back with you.
What I learned is that I need to speak up, kind of going back to that assertiveness, but speak up for myself and just for my position and just being just as we've talked about, not being doing it in the right tone and everything, but just really needing to take a stand and make sure that my voice is heard.
Yes. Same question for you, Safiya.
All right. So, some of the biggest lessons. Two come to mind. The first one is owning my value. I think a lot of people don't own their value in that this is what you bring to a workplace or a space or any kind of environment. The world needs a you. And I remember one young person said to me, "Oh my gosh, Safi, I want to be just like you." And I was like, "Why? The world needs a you. It already has a me." And I think just owning what we bring to the table is so important. And the second thing is, oh, that just slipped my mind. The second thing is, right, to lead in a way that you would even want to follow you. I
Mm,
think many times when people become leaders, they forget what it is like to be the follower. They forgot what it was like to be the subordinate and the junior staff. And then they come into a leadership position and they forgot all of that. They forgot how they felt. They forgot, you know, what it did to their motivation when they were handled a particular way. And they go and perpetuate the very things that they hated. So I've learned to just remember what it was like before I was here and then try to be that leader that I would have wanted to follow when I was then back then. Yeah.
those are great points. And I do want to elaborate on both of what you said. Martika talked about speaking up. And you gave great points about, being the leader that you would follow yourself. If you won't follow you, then you know good and well no one else is going to follow you, right? And then
Right.
owning your value, speaking up, owning your value, and being the leader that you would follow is profound. And here's why I say that, because as a woman in the workplace, I don't care what workplace you're in, we find ourselves in rooms where people want to mansplain us a lot. We'll make a point, somebody will
Tell
get
me.
behind us and say what they think we're saying for us. That's mansplaining. Don't mansplain me. Allow me to let my voice be heard. And if I want some assistance, then I will ask for your assistance. But to come back and clarify what someone is saying, a lot of women face that in the workplace, in leadership roles. And I can't even put my finger on the why. I just know it happens. It's happened to me. And if I ask you ladies or any other lady in the group, everyone would probably say, yeah, girl, it happened to me too. And we're such nurturing creatures that we will still find a way to allow our value to shine through the mud, if that makes sense. Because we can be in muddy places in these different environments that we're in, and it can then lead to some toxicity. It can lead to
Yes.
frustration. It can lead, going back to the bullying that you mentioned. And sometimes it may not be intended to be that way, but it makes us feel like we're forced to adapt to that other individual's leadership style when it's not really our leadership style. So those are all great points about speaking up for yourself, and really speaking up and owning your value, because that's how we own our value. And then we allow, in a respectful, professional way, for other people to respect the value that we're bringing.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes. And one of the Facebook followers said, "Be the leader you want to lead," by one of my favorite quotes. Yeah, so it's a favorite quote of hers as well. So yes, we'll keep it going. What? So moving on to the next question: what are some strategies and habits that you learn that can help women achieve more, like in their predominant roles within their organization? So just give us one or two nuggets that or strategies and habits that you have learned that can help other women to really achieve more in whatever it is that they are doing from a leadership perspective.
So, as part of setting boundaries, the other thing that I found that was very helpful was learning how to take care of myself. So, allotting time for self-care so that I could be more productive and I could achieve more, because I'm making sure to take care of me, whether that's making sure I take a walk every day or going to the gym a couple times a week, but making sure that I am taking care of me so that I can be the best version of me.
Yes.
Fantastic. I love that point, Marteka. For me, it was dropping the need to be perfect. I think we celebrate perfection so much
Mm-hmm.
that it causes persons to have a fear of failure, but really it's a fear of meeting that predefined standard, which really doesn't exist to begin with. And with women, we have so many roles, not just in the workplace. We have to be wife and mommy and sister and counselor and all these other things, that sometimes we feel as though all of those things get in the way of us achieving. Listen, you don't have to be perfect. Your house don't always have to be clean. You don't always, sometimes we have these kinds of, we try to be superwoman in every different area. When I dropped that and I allowed myself to be me, and I allowed myself to dare to dream, dare to dream, dare to dream. Why not you? Why not you? When I did that, that liberated me so, so much. And so I want to encourage women, you don't have to be perfect and have it all together. And dare to dream. Go for the larger position. Start that organization, whatever it is, but just dare to dream and do it. You've
Yes.
got this. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I will add to that too, and just say, be authentic. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell people, be authentic, because it's easy enough for us to adapt. We adapt all the time to a lot of things for a lot of reasons. And in most cases we need to, but what we forget is, as we are adapting to our environment, we're starting to change a little bit in a way that feels forced, and it leads us away from being who we authentically are. Our
Yeah.
authenticity is blown away. It gets obscured, and we don't know what to do with it. And now we find ourselves in a mix, and it changes the whole vibration of
Mhm.
your mood, your habit. So it goes back to, what Marteka said as well, and what both of you have said, Safi, about, taking care of yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself. And
Yeah.
then dismantling the perfection, because nothing is perfect, right? None
No.
of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And what we can't do is allow ourselves to start looping in our heads that because we made a mistake, someone corrected us about that mistake. They got on to us and they told us what is the right way to go. And we start stewing on it. And we can't get out of that loop because we were supposed to do it perfect, but we didn't.
Correct.
It's okay to make a mistake. What's not okay is to think that you're error free. That's what's not okay. The minute
Correct.
you think you are error free, you are going to be stressed. And it's not going to be the people around you stressing you. It's going to be you stressing you because you cannot get rid of the perfection syndrome. You
Yes.
can't get rid of it. So I would just encourage people, if you're wanting to achieve more and you feel like you have not tapped into your full potential, number one, this ain't it. You want to make sure you tapping into our first virtual live Equipped
Yeah.
to Lead Summit, because if you think this
Yes.
conversation is great, just imagine how this summit is going to be March
Yes.
4th and 5th. So you talk about bringing in not only powerful women, but powerful men who have been leading multi-million dollar corporations, who
Mhm.
have been in various of environments and have a plethora of knowledge and experience. Because one thing I always share with folks about me, I never want to stop learning. I'm a lifelong learner. That doesn't mean that I've got to go sit down in a classroom to learn. I'm learning from the people just like you and I that are talking to me. I learned
Mhm.
from them because I'm not going to be in every space. I'm not going to be in every network. I'm not going to be in every environment. But the people who are in those environments are going to teach me something that I don't know, that I can't
Yes.
get from a book. You know why? Because they have a lifetime of experience with it. They
Yes.
have a lifetime of experience with it. So yes, Kimberly said dismantling the perfect. You do. You have to dismantle it. So we're going to be talking about breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
We are all high performing women. Every woman in this group, all 127, 28 of y'all are high performers. Safiya and Marteka, high performers. But just because we're a high performer, that does not mean that we have reached a level of perfection to where we can't still learn from others and
Correct.
others can still learn from us, because we can impart a lot of things. We are more valuable to ourselves and to other people than we think.
Mhm.
We're more valuable than we think, ladies. So I'm excited. So let's go on to the
Yes.
next question. Y'all ready for the next question?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, so all of you are undoubtedly busy, right? We are going in a million directions, probably in less than 5 minutes. A nanosecond of our brain is in 1,000 directions. So we're busy and we're effectively busy. But how do you take care of yourself and maintain your mental health through all of the busyness?
Mhm.
Because some busyness is not good for us to be busy. So what I have started to do in 2022 is a tie my busyness to a thing. What am I busy doing? Right now, I'm busy with this Equipped to Lead virtual summit. Tomorrow, I'm going to be busy with work. So, what are we tying our busyness to? So, undoubtedly that we're busy. My question to you all is, how are you taking care of yourself and maintaining a good mental health?
I
Martina?
am being intentional about movement. So
Okay.
even though, yes, I move around a lot at work, but the times that I have breaks, maybe I have a 15, 20-minute break, I'm intentional about walking for at least 10 minutes of that break so that I can stay in a good space. And even if something just happened real crazy, I know I'm going to be walking for 10 minutes and I can get it together and stay in a good mental state. And then just also being intentional, even outside of work, walking a couple times a week with friends and just being able to, yeah, I feel like moving my body has been the best way for me to maintain a good mental health. Because actually, a couple of weeks ago, I was in an accountability group and things weren't weren't really happening well. And then a few days later, I went for a run. I could think clearly, and I came back to them and reported on all the things that I had done that didn't come to mind 2 days before when we were having our accountability group. But I was like, wow, it's amazing what a good run will do.
Lovely.
Safiya?
I love that. For me, I started to focus more on my positive triggers.
Mm,
Sometimes we focus on the negative triggers, and it's important to know that. When I work with leaders, self awareness is so big. To become aware of yourself and your triggers. But I started to focus more on my positive triggers. What makes me smile? What makes me happy? What causes me to de escalate and to decompress? And I love the grass. I love being outside. I love movies. It doesn't even matter what really is the movie. Um, Especially with my son. He's 17 years. And I recognize those two things. I mean, in a split second, I can go from 300 to 10. It
mm,
really de-escalates me, and so I ensure that every week that I have that time. So I tell persons that sometimes I would watch movies with my son 3 4 times a week. Yes, I'm busy, but I watch a lot of movies. Why I do that? Because it makes me happy. And I look for my positive triggers because it sparks all of these positive emotions. And
mhm.
again, it clears your brain and you feel so recharged. And it keeps you connected to your big why. Why am
Yes.
I doing all of this? And I
Yes.
see my big why before me all the time. And it just keeps me motivated as well. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So, Safia, you dropping some nuggets, honey, because Kimberly said positive triggers. She never considered that. So
Yeah.
I listen, I'm telling you, these nuggets and these gems are here because positive triggers that's an amazing thing to do. It's helping you to really tap into, you're being energized, number one. You're energizing your body, you're energizing your brain, and you're taking more of the positive and you're not allowing the negative, i.e., your saboteur mindset to
Mhm.
take over because we self sabotage all the time in our
Yes.
mind. We
Oh,
self sabotage. We can do a task, and then 10 minutes later, we start sabotaging ourselves because we're thinking about how well or how poorly we may have did that task while we're trying to move on to something else. It doesn't really allow us to transition properly so that we're moving away from it. So that's all great stuff. Starting your day off with 30 minutes of moving your body, just like I tell the ladies in the group when I'm posting about different topics of exercising and managing your health and wellness, is 30 minutes of movement early in the morning will jumpstart your day. It does help you think clearer, it does help you to refocus, and it helps you to stay upbeat. Because the minute we start putting food in our body and we have not worked out at the top of the day, or whatever the case may be, we become sluggish and it tears down your mental to where you can't think. But what I do want to impart in this being busy and, what are we doing to take care of ourselves and our mental health? Something in your environment can turn chaotic in a split second. What do you do? I'll tell you what I do. I become my calmest when things are spiraling out of control. Because if I spiral out of control with the chaotic events that's going on around me, I can't think.
Yeah.
I can't make a sound decision. I don't care if it's personal or professional. So when my environments get chaotic, I really just stop.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'll stop what I'm doing, take a breath, put a smile on my face so I can put a smile in my soul, and I really think about what is happening around me so I can make a calm decision. One of the things a great leader once told me, and I'm active military, and everybody in here knows that, and I really admire General Brooks, who's retired now. When I was out in Hawaii, I used to make time to go to all of his LPDs. And those of you that don't know what an LPD is, it's a leadership professional development program that we use. So I went to one, and what he taught us was be the leader that's calm when the storm is raging.
that's good.
And that's all he had to say. And it resonated with my soul. Like it penetrated my mental so deep. And he expounded on it. But before he said another word, the minute he said, be the leader that is calm when the storm is raging, I was like, wow. Think about how powerful that is and how powerful of a decision or a something you can get people out of depending on what the chaotic moment is, depending on what the storm is. Like, think about that for a second. That is
So
powerful.
powerful. Yeah, very powerful.
Yes.
Okay, so before we go more into any other of the fast round mindset questions, what I do want to leave some of you with and leave the rest of the group with is a little bit more about what you can get for those of you that decide to participate in the Equip to Lead virtual summit.
Yeah.
You're going to learn about financial management. And it's twofold. You're not just going to learn about it as first timers if that's you, but if it's something that you're already strong at, then you're going to gain some additional insights. You're going to gain some additional information. When we talk about, reframing your thinking, you're going to get equipped with some tools and some resources from some very profound and renowned folks that can give you more information, that can change the current perspective that you currently have. Not in a bad way, or not to say that anything you're doing is wrong. It's just going to add more to your resume, add more to your toolkit, add more to your experience, add more to the way that you move and the way that you want to do things. And if you are that woman or that male that wants more, you're definitely going to get more. When we talk about the lies we tell ourselves, Marteka, is going to really drive it home for us. When we talk about being a leader in a multifaceted, multiple domain type environment, Safiya, all the way from Trinidad,
Trinidad.
come on, going to talk to us about some things, because globally, if we're not really nesting into the different cultures that we find ourselves in, and we are a mixed garden, you have to be well-rounded and diversify your skills in all aspects.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, look around in the pandemic right now. How many of you are pivoting in ways you never thought you would?
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
there's always something to glean. There's always something to learn. And oh my God, talk about the list of speakers that we have, helping you to really pull out your brilliance. You're already brilliance, but taking it to a level 10.
Yeah.
Going to a level 15, like that's the environment that I desire to be in. And
Yeah.
that's the environment that I want to invite you all in. And on top of that, VIP experience. And for the simple fact that you're here tonight, guess what you're going to get from me? All you have to do when you go to the website, for those of you that want to participate, you put in fit in the letter N, fit in ladylike, the same name as the group, fit in ladylike, and you're getting a discount. And one more thing on top of that, I'm feeling real good tonight for free gift. I'm feeling real good tonight. So if you inbox me and you say, "Hey, I am participating in the conference," you're getting a free T-shirt.
Yeah.
You're getting a free T-shirt just for being here listening, whether you participate in the conference or not. But being here listening tonight about cultivating healthy leadership habits, I just want to give you something free for you giving me your ear. So all you
Yeah.
gotta do is inbox me your size, and you're gonna get a free fit in ladylike T-shirt. And guess what the T-shirt say? Guess what the T-shirt say? 90% mental, 10% physical, because that's what it is. And that is what you're gonna get also from this conference. When your mental is in line, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for you to execute.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I want to say this. I one thing that I learned that transformed my life. I learned to be aware of what I didn't know that I didn't know. You see what
Mm,
you when you don't know that you don't know, but you behave like you know, man, that's the worst space to be in. And so I started to become aware there are things that I don't know and I don't know what they are. So I became so open to learning. And what I did, I looked at people, and once I saw the result in their lives that I wanted to create it in mine, I wanted to create in mine, I hooked my wagon to theirs. And
yes.
that is what, because I really don't know what I don't know. So all I'm looking for is the fruit. I'm looking for the result. And I'm saying, okay, I'm seeing the result that I want to create. Okay, I'm attaching my wagon to you. If I have to pay to play, if I have to pay to hear you, if I can attend a free session, whatever it is, when I see the result that I'm looking for in your life, I'm attaching myself to you because I don't know what I don't know. And I want to encourage us.
Yes.
You don't know what you don't know.
That's right.
But if you look at, I mean, look at us on tonight, even the slate of speakers, and you see the results in their life, look at their bios, go and check out their social
Yes,
media profile, go and check out their website. And when you see the results that you are looking to get, attach yourself to the wagon. And you're going to find that your life would start to produce the very thing after a while. So I
yes,
want to encourage you, and that transformed my life. So in my lovely Trinidad and Tobago, 1.4 million people. I'm literally all over the world, all over the world. I mean, I have colleagues and connections all over. So it's really the limitation is up here. And Marquesa said it, 90% mental,
Yes.
10% physical. That's how we
it
think. So yeah,
definitely is. And the way you get that 90-10 is you have to dismantle those thinking traps as well, because people don't realize there are thinking traps out there and we set them. We're the first ones to set thinking traps. And then what we think we project because we say it out of our mouth. And so people around us will set another trap and another trap and another trap.
correct.
And it's all because of what we said first that started the thinking trap. So yeah, reframing everything plus this is just a snippet of us talking about a specific thing, cultivating healthy leadership habits. But to get the true deep dive from all of these phenomenal speakers, to include building wealth from the grave, like who can say that they have enough money right now? I can say that, but I'm focused on how much money can my legacy have? Can my children have? Can my children have when I'm no longer here? How am I building for that? Do I feel like I have all the tools I need to do that? Of course not. But I can guarantee you when I go to this conference and listen to, Keith and AJ and all of these dynamic speakers, I'm going to learn how to do that. I haven't made $1 million yet, but some of these speakers on this summit have, and I'm pretty sure they're going to teach me and show me and equip me with how to do the same thing, the roadmap. The blueprint. The blueprint is there. It's just a matter of whose blueprint do you want to follow? Whose roadmap do you want to follow? Which one is going to allow you to take yours to the next level? Because my blueprint can't be Safia's blueprint, but her blueprint can help me build mine to something phenomenal. So if you want to go from good to great, yeah, I'm quoting books because it's my favorite book. You have to do something different. You have to do something different than what we have always done so that you can get to that phenomenal standpoint. And so I really appreciate you all being here tonight. That was my last question for you all. But before I let you leave, I always ask all of my guests the fast round mindset question so I can hear how you live and how you think. Make sure this thing is lining up. So, first one, Marteka, you go first. What's your favorite book?
Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Okay, Safiya.
Nice. Power Through Prayer through
I
by
will.
E.M. Bounds.
Okay.
Power Through Prayer. Yeah.
Nice. And I have three authors. Mine is Crucial Conversation. I'm actually revisiting that right now.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And then your favorite self-care activity, Martika.
Running.
Yes. Your favorite self-care activity.
It's running.
Run. Yes. Safiya.
And I used to be an athlete. I used to do track many years ago. I represented my country and all of that, and I'm not as active now as I ought to be. So, Marquess, I think I need to hook up with you on that. But my self-care, I actually love dealing with my hair, caring for my hair. I
Oh,
tell persons in another life I probably could have been a hairstylist. I actually love dealing with my hair.
can I send my head to you so you can okay? And how many times were you told no, Martika?
Oh, too many to count.
Wow. And didn't let it stop you.
Yeah, countless.
Safiya. Same thing for you, Safiya.
Yeah, countless, countless.
Same here. Same here. No's challenge me. I love a good no. Because every time somebody tell me no or I can't do something, you best believe I'm gonna do what I need to do ethically and legally to show you that I can.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Okay. And then, do you have a business mentor or coach, Martika?
Yes, it's the best way to grow.
It is.
Yes.
Safiya?
Yes, I do. More than one actually, because the coaches have specialties in different
Mhm.
areas. So, it's you can't get to the next level if you don't know where you're going. So, I believe in mentorship. I absolutely believe in mentorship.
Absolutely. So I do too have multiple mentors and coaches. My biggest coach is Dr. Eric Thomas. And
Mhm.
then I also have a variety of coaches around me,
Yeah.
Kiana, a few other people that has been on here. But I have multiple coaches and mentors in my for my personal life and for my professional life,
Correct.
because the both
Correct.
do two different things. And what I need
Correct.
in my professional, I don't need in my personal. There are certain things that I need,
Right.
but when I talk about from a mentor, the things I'm trying to accomplish in my personal life, I need a personal mentor for that side.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Exactly that.
Yes, yes. Okay, and then the last two questions. What is the most rewarding aspect of your career, Marteka?
Seeing the light bulb go on for the people that I'm working with, whether it's kids or adults, but when they have that aha moment, they finally get it. It's very
Wow,
rewarding.
awesome. Safiya?
Yeah, I was having this chat with my team just last week, and I was saying to them, just being able to do business on my terms, just being fully, authentically me, and giving that to the world. I mean, I'm absolutely in love with that because it's very different from working for someone else. You have to play by their rules, you have to follow those policies, but getting to craft it for yourself and push it out into the world, absolutely fantastic. That's my big joy.
Yes. And I'll share too. So one of mine is utilizing my voice to influence other people who don't have a voice to finally find
Yes.
their voice and use their voice. Some
Yeah.
people don't like to speak up because they're introverts, and that's who I help, right? I help introverts persevere through life altering experiences. So I love when I'm able to use my voice to influence an introvert to use his or her voice when they thought they didn't have one.
Right. Lovely.
So good.
Absolutely. So last one, give us your number one health and wellness tip.
Stretch. Make sure you stretch and drink water. Those kind of, I know that's two, but they really kind of go together. Stretch and drink water.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would definitely piggyback on that drink water. I think that's so important. But I'll tell you this: sleep, especially for me. I remember at this time I went to this retreat and I was working all week and I packed and I hustled to the retreat. And by the next morning, I was feeling so awful. I felt like I was going to die. They were starting to carry me to the hospital. So let me just lie down for a little bit. I slept for like about 6 hours straight, got up and felt like a brand new person, brand new. I said, oh my, there's no substitution for sleep. You just
Mhm.
make sure and get your rest in and water. I mean, yeah.
Yes, I concur with both rest and water. And I would tell you to just mind your peace. Mind your peace. Don't let anybody else mind your peace for you, because that won't be a peaceful moment. Mind your peace.
Yeah.
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 Have people respect your peace, because when people can respect your peace, you won't feel as disrupted and disturbed.
Yes. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me ask you just a quick
Yes.
question on sleep. So there has always been discussion around that. So busy woman, high performing woman, how many hours of sleep do you really need to get? So for me, I tell persons, listen, I sleep 8 to 9 hours. Cool, 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 cool.
Hmm.
That's my sweet spot. And they'll be like, how you getting 9 hours of sleep and doing all of that? So I said, you know what? Let me ask you, what you think?
So I'm going to give you two answers. Realistically, especially with the pandemic, you need 7 hours. You
Okay.
need 7 hours of sleep. But what can you function off of to make it even more realistic for a high performing woman? 5 hours.
Okay.
If you can get seven, go for the seven. But here's a strategy I'll give you. When you're only getting five, find a shade tree nap. The shade tree nap can be the bathroom stall, a quiet place in your workspace if you're going into an office, a place in your home, and it can be 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Find a shade tree nap throughout the day if you can catch one. If
Right.
you can catch one. If you can't, make that the first thing you do when you get home, if you have to leave home to go to work. And if you're already at home, then find some quiet time to give yourself 30 minutes to just rest your eyes. Just close your eyes and you'll make up the difference. But 5 hours to realistically function for a high performing woman.
Okay, cool. So I'm overdoing it with the 8 hours. So like,
Too much, too much of a good thing they say is not good
yeah,
for
yeah,
you. But
yeah,
if you're getting 8 hours, that's great.
yeah.
If you find yourself sluggish after you have had those 8 hours, then pay attention, document how you're eating. That's what I would recommend. Document how you're eating. If you're feeling sluggish after having 8 hours of sleep, because that's a good amount of sleep.
I feel super when I get like 6 hours. That's when I'm sluggish. When
That's
I
when you're
get
sluggish.
eight, I'm buzzing, bouncing off the walls, ready to go.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. So that's all the time we have. We have reached our 40 minutes, and I don't want to keep you long. It's a Wednesday night. People have to go to work. So I'll put it up again. The code for checking out on the website to participate in the Equip to Lead Summit is Fit In Ladylike. You type that code in, you'll get a discount. The website, I have put it up on the screen. I will let it stay there for a second. I will also put it in a thread of this live after it is done. And as you all know, I always leave these live episodes in the group. So even if you go back and watch it again, you still get that free gift. If you attended the live session tonight, the live, not the replay, but the live, send me a direct message in my messenger and tell me your size, give me your address so that I can ship you your free t-shirt. And don't forget, if you're going to check out and participate in the summit, you will get a discount by utilizing Fit In Ladylike as the code. And I will drop the website in the group. That is all for the Fit In Ladylike a Boss series, episode 12, Cultivating Healthy Leadership Habits, talking with my good friends Marteka and Safiya, all the way from Trinidad. Thank you for being here tonight, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.